The other big story we're following, the deadly police shooting of a young black man in the Minneapolis suburb of Brooklyn Center. Large crowds are gathering tonight, calling for justice for 20-year-old Dante Wright. The governor of Minnesota has imposed a curfew, and President Biden is calling for calm as the area prepares for a second night of protests. This is all happening just 10 miles from where George Floyd died last summer. The trial for the former officer charged with Floyd's death is now in its third week, and we'll get to that story in just a moment. But first, let's talk about what we've learned in the Brooklyn Center shooting. Tonight, the medical examiner classified Dante Wright's death as a homicide. He was shot during a traffic stop on Sunday. The police chief showed some body camera footage of what happened and said his officer made a deadly mistake.
It is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet.
Late tonight, that officer was identified as Kim Potter. She's been on the force for 26 years and is now on administrative leave. Tonight, there are a lot of questions about how this could happen. Jack Heiberger spoke with law enforcement experts about this case and police training.
It's body camera video that's both deeply disturbing and yet frighteningly familiar.
When I look at this from a law enforcement filter, it looks like a mistake.
Law enforcement experts Gregory Smith and Dr. Alex Del Carmen say it's clear this never should have happened.
If the police department claims that this individual officer was trained, it doesn't necessarily mean that she was well trained.
And according to both Smith and Del Carmen, most police departments purposefully place officers' tasers on a different part of their body, hoping to prevent just such a fatal confusion.
We can train people all day and all night, but when you get them out in the streets in a real life scenario, they're going to act based on their instinct.
But for so many Americans, explanations are beside the point. Why, they wonder, does it continue to happen disproportionately to men of color? Why is the officer so often white?
Is there some unconscious bias going on here? Is there some unconscious fears going on here that we need to wrap our brain around, because this is occurring entirely too much?
Proper training, both Smith and Del Carmen agree, is only one part of the equation, and many of the facts in the Brooklyn Center case remain unknown. But both believe any solution has to also focus on the people that police departments choose to hire.
We need to really look at not only who are we hiring, who are we keeping.
Jack Heiberger, NBC5.